Assalamu alaikum. The topic for today is trigonometry. Trigonometry, like Pythagoras, is also about right angled triangles, but here we are going to deal with angles unlike Pythagoras, in which we were dealing only with the sides of a right angled triangle. In Pythagoras, what happens is that other than hypotenuse, which is the longest side and is directly in front of the right angle, we can take both the other sides, one as base and one as perpendicular. Whichever one we want to take as base, we can take that. But in trigonometry, what happens is that base and perpendicular are determined in accordance with the angles. So let's have a look. This is angle theta and the other angle is angle alpha. The thing to note here is that both the angles are going to be acute angles, means less than 90. So the side directly in front of theta will be known as perpendicular or opposite, and the side where the angle is made is called the base or adjacent. Both of them are the names of the same side. And if we look at alpha, in accordance with alpha, the side directly in front of it becomes the perpendicular or opposite, and the side where the angle is made becomes the base or adjacent. I'm not going to use the words opposite and adjacent, rather I'm going to use the words perpendicular and base. So in order to solve the right angle triangle involving angles, we have certain trigonometric ratios which you will find in the scientific region of your, or the scientific section of your calculator, which is above your numerical keypad. There you will see some buttons which will have readings like this: sine, cos, tan, which are ratios. So sine theta, we have to be careful which angle we are using. So sine theta is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, cos theta is equals to base upon hypotenuse, and tan theta is perpendicular upon base. Base is also called as adjacent and perpendicular is also called as opposite. So this can be remembered as some people have curly brown hair till painted black. This is how you can remember it. Or where teachers use opposite and adjacent, they use SOH, CAH and TOA, and they call it so TOA. Opposite upon adjacent and adjacent upon hypotenuse, opposite upon hypotenuse. Both are easy ways to remember these ratios. Now do we have to remember the values of these ratios? No. Let's see how do we use it. This ratio can be used, as we can see that each ratio has three variables basically. Sine theta is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. One variable is perpendicular, one variable is hypotenuse, and one variable is the angle. So initially we will solve for a side, so we need the angle and we need at least one side. Would we be using sine theta always? No, it depends on which side is given to us. So let's have a look at the example. For example, if this is a triangle and we have a 60-degree angle, we have one side is equals to 25 and hypotenuse is unknown, which we have to find out. Also one side we have to find out. So here in this case, y is equals to base and 25 is equals to perpendicular. So what is given to us? We are given with an angle and one perpendicular. The rule is we will use as many values given as possible instead of using the ones that we have calculated, because if one value is wrong, everything becomes wrong. So for x we can use sine 60. some people have. Sine 60 is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse is unknown x. Cross multiply, x is equals to 25 upon sine 60. Answer is 28.86. Now we can calculate y. Calculate y, we can use cos, we can use tan, and we can use Pythagoras also, but here we are going to use tan. Why? Till painted black. Here this is given to us and perpendicular is already given to us. We have to find out the base. Why didn't I use Pythagoras? Why didn't I use cos? I did not use cos or Pythagoras because the value of x will be involved. So how does that matter? Suppose if I've calculated x wrong, or even if I've written the value wrong, and if I use this value, my other part will also be wrong. So in order to avoid that, I will try to use the given values as much as possible instead of involving the calculated value which I have calculated on my own. If I am able to avoid it, I will avoid it at all costs. So this is tan 60 is equals to 25 upon y. Cross multiply, y is equals to 25 upon tan 60. This will definitely be less than 28.86 because x is the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, so other sides are going to be less than the measurement of this side. Here we found out y is equals to 14.43. Moving on to the next question. We can use these measurements to find out sides as well as angles. Here I showed you how can you find out the values of sides. In the next slide we are going to show you how you can calculate angles using these ratios. For example, a triangle is given to you. We have three triangles here, and these are three different questions. I'm going to solve them right now. This is theta. For theta, 10 is equals to base and 15 is equals to perpendicular, because 15 is in front of it. Hypotenuse is not given. In this one, 12.3 is perpendicular because directly in front of it, and 15.4 is the hypotenuse. In this one, this is the base because x is located in a position where 43 becomes the base, and this is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse stays constant, a side which is directly in front of the right angle, and other two sides are interchangeable depending upon where the acute angle for which we are looking for sine, tan and cos are situated, wherever that angle is situated. Okay, so for first one we can apply, let's choose the trigonometric ratio that involves base and perpendicular both, which is tan. This is tan theta is equals to, till painted black gives me tan theta is equals to 5 upon 10. Now how do I find out theta? We write theta is equals to tan inverse. You write inverse as -1, 5 upon 10, or in this case 1 upon 2. How do we calculate this? If you look at your calculator, you will see a shift button, right? So first you press shift plus tan, then you get tan inverse. As you can see that above the sine, cos, tan buttons, you can see sine inverse, cos inverse and tan inverse. Where does this inverse come from? Let's go back to the concept of indices. X, when it comes in the denominator, becomes 1 upon x. If I don't want to write it in the denominator, I will write x to the power -1. It's similar to that. When I separated tan from the angle, it went into the denominator on the other side because tan was being multiplied with the angle. When it went on the other side, it became 1 upon tan, but after tan we need an angle. The angle was not there, so what we did was we took tan in the numerator with an inverse sign. So tan inverse 5 upon 10. When I calculate tan inverse 5 upon 10, I get 15 upon 10. 15 upon 10. I get 56.31. For the second one, we have perpendicular and we have hypotenuse. So the trigonometric ratio that involves perpendicular and hypotenuse is sine. Sine x is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Sine x is equals to 12.3 upon hypotenuse. Sine inverse 12.3 upon 15.4 is equals to x. So x is equals to sine inverse 12.3 divided by 15.4 is equals to 53. In this case, x is equals to 53. And for third one, we have base and hypotenuse, so we are going to use cos. Cos x is equals to curly brown hair. Cos x is equals to base is 43, hypotenuse is 57. X is equals to cos inverse 43 upon 57. Let's find out the answer. Cos inverse 43 upon 57. The answer is 41.03. This is how you calculate the angles and sides using trigonometric ratios. Moving on, we have two more concepts, which are angle of elevation and angle of depression. Both the angles are made from the eye level. This is the eye level. Even if the eye is on the level ground, it's at some floor in the building. If you're standing in the window of a room at 20th floor and looking up the sky, there will be an angle of elevation from where you are looking at a bird flying in the sky, for example. There will be an angle of depression when you are looking at a car standing on the level ground from your window. That will be angle of depression, but both the angles are made with the eye level. So for example, if you are looking at a bird, angle of elevation is this one, made with the eye level. And if you're looking at a car, angle of depression is this one, made with the eye level. But if we are making a triangle, if we are constructing a triangle, then we are going to use the concept of alternate angles where we have a z, right? So this angle of depression is equal to this angle made with the level ground. There are a few more things that I want to tell you. Whenever you will get a question where there is an opposite bank of a river, opposite bank is always this perpendicular. Next is whenever we have a question which says a ladder is leaning against the wall, that forms a hypotenuse of the triangle. Whenever a question says from the foot of the building towards the east, towards the west, we are talking about horizontal distance. Whenever the question talks about above the ground or at a height of, it's talking about vertical distance. Let's apply all these concepts in a question where we will learn how to draw the diagram. Mostly diagrams are given, but in case diagram is not given, you should be able to construct a diagram of your own, because you cannot solve these problems without visualizing them and without diagrammatically representing them. So a man walks 25 meters west of the foot of the building. Building is obviously here. West is towards the left. Man walks 25 meter. This is the man. Walks 25 meter. He has curly hair. It's not a girl. 25 meters towards the west of the building. From the foot of the building means he started walking from here, right where there is foot of the building, the building is planted inside the ground. Looking up at someone standing in the window on the 20th floor, 100 meters high. 100 meters high. That floor is 100 meters high. Find the angle of elevation of the man standing on the level ground looking up at the window. Angle of elevation, this is the eye level because the man is standing here, right? So we are going to find out this angle. This angle can be easily calculated. Let's name it theta. We have the base and we have the perpendicular. We can apply tan theta till painted black. Tan theta is 100 upon 25. Theta is equals to tan inverse 4 because 100 upon 25 is 4. We get 75.96. Theta is 75.96. This is what was required. Now there's a part B as well. Also, find the distance between the two men. There's someone standing in the window over here, right? Distance between the two men is this one. So now they want us to calculate the hypotenuse. I'm not going to use any trigonometric ratio here. I'm going to use Pythagoras. Why? Because these two values are given to me. What if I've calculated the angle wrong? I don't want to risk getting part 2 wrong. So let's use Pythagoras. Pythagoras is, let's name this x. X square is equals to 100 square plus 25 square. I will underroot it directly when I put it in the calculator. So we have 100 square plus 25 square under root is 103.08. 103.08. Next is the person standing in the window looks at a car with an angle of depression 56 degrees. This man is standing in the window and is looking at a car with an angle of depression 56 degrees on the east. The car is standing somewhere towards the east, which means on the right hand side. The man is looking at this car and there is an angle of depression. Angle of depression is obviously made with the eye level. Eye level is over here. This is the eye level. So angle of depression is this one, which is 56 degrees. Find the distance of the car from the foot of the building. Foot of the building is here. We need to find this out. Let's name this y. Now we have this angle. What are we going to do? We will make a z, which is the alternate angle, and this angle inside becomes 56. Now we have one angle given. We have the perpendicular given, which is 100 meters, because the height at which the man is standing does not change. We have 100 meters. We want to find out the base. So what we are going to apply? We are again going to apply tan. Tan 56 is equals to P upon B. We need B, which is y. Let's cross multiply. Y is equals to 100 upon tan 56. The answer is 67.45 meters. You have to remember one thing, that some calculators, they do not proceed with the calculation unless you close the bracket after writing tan. For example, if you are writing tan, when you press tan, a bracket opens on its own and you write tan 56 and you press equal to, it will not work unless you close this bracket. Some calculators do work even if the bracket is not closed, but some don't. So be careful about that and don't panic if you're not getting the answer. Moving ahead, let's do a few exam style questions. From the top of a cliff 52-meter high, means this is the cliff, and this is a cliff, and this cliff is 52 meters high. We are talking about from top of the cliff. So from top of a cliff 52 meters high, angle of depression of two ships A and B due east. The ships are due east, so let's draw it over here. Angle of depression of two ships A and B due east are 36 and 24. So this is ship number 1 and this is ship number 2. Now let's do something very logical. This is horizontal distance and this is an angle. Then there is continued horizontal distance and this is another angle. We know that this angle is going to be smaller, this angle is going to be larger, right? So angle of depression is with the eye level, this is the eye level, but of course we are going to use the concept of alternate angles. This is the eye level and we are going to use the concept of alternate angles. This angle is 25 and this entire angle is 36. So this is 36 and this is 25. This is the diagram and I have lost the question. So let's say I want to find out the distance between two ships, which means I want to just find out this area. What am I going to do? I have 52 meters, which is common for both triangles. Let's first highlight the two triangles that I have. One triangle will be in yellow, other triangle will be in green, and there is an overlap of the perpendicular. This is triangle A with angle of depression 36 and this is I'll make it in red. This is triangle B with angle of depression is equals to 25. Now let's find out. First I am going to find out X, then I am going to find out Y, and then I am going to find out Z. This portion of Y is equals to X and other portion of Y is equals to Z, and we are looking to find out Z. Okay, so either I can write it together, means first I write tan 25 is equals to 52 upon Y, or Y is equals to 52 upon tan 25, and then I directly subtract what? Tan 36 is equals to 52 upon X, or X is equals to X is equals to 52 upon tan 36. I can straight away write Z is equals to Y minus X. Z is equals to 52 upon tan 25 minus 52 upon tan 36. Let's see if the answer is negative. If the answer is negative, then it's going to be wrong. If not, then it's going to be right. Okay, I already know that the answer is right, but let's find out. 52 upon tan 25 minus 52 upon tan 36. The answer is 39.94. So the distance between two ships Z is equals to 39.94. You could have calculated Y separately, Z separately, and then put them in the calculator to find out the difference, but I prefer doing it together so that I don't have to enter the calculated value again in the calculator, as there is a greater chance of making an error, especially for me if when I am entering values in the calculator, because it happens with me a lot of times. Moving on to the next question, it says flagpole of height 12.2 meter is placed on top of a building. This is a building, and let's say this is a flagpole here. From here, the height of flagpole is 12.2 meters placed on top of a building of height h meters. From point T on the level ground, angle of elevation of the base of the flagpole, angle of elevation of the base of the flagpole from a point T on the level ground. This is the eye level. Angle of elevation is 26. Angle of elevation of the top of the flagpole is 35. It means we have another line coming from this. But where is 35? This entire angle is 35. We have to find out h and x also. First, we can see that for h we don't have two measurements. Even if we try to use tan, then we don't have the base. If we try to use cos, then we don't have the hypotenuse. So what are we going to do? We are going to find out h for both the triangles. Which both the triangles? H for the triangle where we have the angle 26, and we will find out h for the triangle where we have angle 35. But how are we going to find out h for both of them? Let's see. This is 12.2 plus h, because this is the entire height in the triangle where the angle is 35. So what are we going to find out? We are going to find it out in terms of, say, base for both of them, because base is the same for both of them and it can be equated. So I will write tan 26 till painted black, base is equals to height upon tan 26. This is equation 1. For equation 2, I will write tan 35 is equals to 12.2 plus h upon base. So my equation becomes base is equals to 12.2 plus h upon tan 35. Now I equate both of them. This becomes 12.2 plus h upon tan 35 is equals to h upon tan 26. I cross multiply, it becomes 12.2 tan 26, and this is how you will type it in the calculator, writing 12.2 before tan 26 plus h tan 26 is equals to h tan 35. Now h tan 26 becomes, tan 26 in itself is 0.49. This is 0.49h, and this is 0.49 multiplied by 12.2, which is 5.95, is equals to tan 35 is 0.7 we bring it over here. 5.95 is equals to 0.7h minus 0.49h. So 0.7 minus 0.49 gives me 0.21. 5.95 is equals to 0.21h. 5.95 divided by 0.21 gives me 28.33. Now that you have 28.33 and you have 12.2 as well, you can easily calculate x. Calculate x on your own. Give your answer in the comment section and I will get back to you. Moving forward to another question. ABC is a non-right angle triangle with AB is equals to 28. Area of the triangle is 120.4. Find the shortest distance between C and the base AB. Shortest distance means perpendicular from C to AB. You will drop a perpendicular from C to AB. Here you will have a 90-degree angle and this will be the perpendicular. Now why they have given us the area? They have given us the area because the formula for area of a triangle is half into base into height. What is the base? Base is the side where 90-degree perpendicular is dropped. So area is 120.4 is equals to half. Base is 28. Height is unknown. So height is equals to 120.4 divided by 14, which is equals to 8.6 centimeter. Answer for part A. Next part says, hence calculate the size of angle CAB, which is this angle, given that AC is 21. AC is 21 and this height is given, which is 8.6. Not given, we have calculated it. We can easily apply sine formula because this is perpendicular. Sine theta is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Sine theta is equals to 8.6 upon 21. Theta is equals to sine inverse 8.6 upon 21. This is 24.17 angle. Degrees. Moving on to the next question. PQRS is a trapezium. PQ is equals to 11, QR 5, RS 16. Explain how you know that angle X is equal to 45. We know that angle X is equals to 45 because this is 5 and this is also 5. Why 5? Because the entire length is 16 but till here it is 11. So this portion will be 5. Now tan X is equals to P upon B. Tan X is equals to 5 upon 5 is equals to 1. So tan inverse 1 is equals to 45. That is how we know that X is 45. Second question, find the perimeter of the trapezium PQRS. Perimeter means sum of all sides. So for sum of all sides, we need this portion. How do we find this out? Let's see. We have 5 here. We have 45 here. We can easily calculate this. We can use even base also, depends on us. So we will write sine 45 is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse Hypotenuse is equals to y upon sine 5 upon sine 45. So 5 upon sine 45 gives me 7.07. So let's keep it 7. Let's assume that this is 7. Perpendicular becomes 7 plus 11 moving clockwise plus 5 plus 16. Not this 5 because this is entire 16. So this gives me 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 11 22. 22 plus 7 is 29. A bird on the ground looks up to the top of a tree. Bird on the ground. This is the bird on the ground. It's looking up at the top of the tree, means here 45 meters tall is the height of tree. Angle of elevation from the bird to the top of the tree is 18. How far is the bird from the foot of the tree? Means we are required to calculate the horizontal distance between the bird and the tree. Angle of elevation is given 18 from the foot of the tree. If they would have asked how far is the bird from the top of the tree, then they would be asking about the hypotenuse. So we can easily calculate this distance using tan. Tan 18 is equals to 45 upon x. X is equals to 45 upon tan 18. Surprisingly, a lot of questions have tan in them, so does that mean that we will only be using tan? No, it all depends on the question. Answer is 138.5 meters. I'm sorry, this was 4.5. I have used 45 by mistake, so this is 4.5. Let me change it in the final answer. This is 13.85. Not 138.5, 13.85. See, this is the mistake that we can make. Everybody can make. I'm a teacher, even I can make this mistake, and this can distort the entire answer. That's why I keep saying that we have to use the given values as much as possible, and we have to be very careful while putting in the values in the calculator. Right now I'm making a video, that's why I can be a bit careful and reread whatever I'm writing and revise what I'm writing. In exam you will not have that kind of time, so you need to be careful. Next is a ladder is leaning against the wall of the house. Wall of house, ladder. Ladder always leans against in a hypotenuse. The safe angle between ladder and the ground is 75. Safe angle means the angle at which it will not fall and it will not slide. 75. The ladder is 3 meters long. How high up the wall will the ladder reach when it's leaning at a safe angle? How high up means we have to find out this. Now we can see that we will be able to use another trigonometric ratio, which is sine. So sine 75 is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. 3 sine 75 is x. 3 sine 75 is 2.89 meters. The question says the diagram shows a chord of a circle with radius 23 centimeter. So naturally this is also 23 centimeter. Length of the chord is 30. Show that the acute angle XOY, means this one, is 81.41 to 4 significant figures. We have to show this, so we have to apply property of the circle, which you will be able to see in the video of circle theorems. So the property of circle is that if a line is dropped from the center of the circle to the chord, it makes a 90-degree angle first, and then it divides the chord into two equal parts. So this part becomes 15, this part becomes 15, and the angle is also bisected. So we can find out this angle by applying sine theta, because this 15 is perpendicular. So sine theta is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Sine theta is equals to perpendicular is 15, hypotenuse is 23. Theta is equals to sine inverse 15 upon 23. Answer is, let's put it in the calculator, 15 upon 23 gives us 40.71. I did say that this angle is also bisected, so when you multiply this by 2, you do get 81.41. Correct to 4 significant figures, hence shown. Answer of part A. Find the area of sector OXY, which means they are talking about the sector pizza slice, complete pizza slice. We simply apply the mensuration formula, theta upon 360 into pi r square. Theta is 81.41 divided by 360 multiply by pi multiply by 23 square. Answer is 375.83. Part C. Find the shortest distance from O to the chord XY. I explained in some previous question that the shortest distance always means the perpendicular. So we can easily find out the perpendicular because we have the triangle which has hypotenuse is equals to 23. This is 15. We can simply apply Pythagoras to find out x. So x square is equals to 23 square minus 15 square, and the answer is x is equals to 17.43. Part D. Hence calculate the area of the shaded segment correct to 1 decimal place. Now what we are going to do is, there is a formula to straight away calculate area of the triangle using trigonometry, but I am not going to apply that here right now because you will see that in the video of further trigonometry. So let's say this is a triangle, the base is 30. Let's find out the area of triangle first, because area of the segment, this is the segment that I'm going to shade right now. Area of the segment means sector minus triangle. Area of sector is 375.83 minus area of the triangle is half into base, which is 30, into height, which is 17.43. The answer is 114.38 centimeter square. They want it correct to 1 decimal place, so 114.4 centimeter square. Moving on to the next question. ABC is an equilateral triangle of side 4 centimeter and M is the midpoint of BC. PQR is a right angled isosceles triangle where PQ is equals to QR. Find the length of AM and PR, giving both the answers in that their simplest form. AM is this and PR is this. AM can be calculated simply using Pythagoras. So AM is equals to under root 4 square minus 2 square. So we have under root 16 minus 4, which is under root 12. Next is PR. To find out PR also, we are going to apply Pythagoras. 8 square plus 8 square is equals to 64 plus 64. The answer they need are in the form P and Q. So under root 12, let's write this as under root 128. Under root 12 can be written as 2 root 3. Why? Because this is 4 multiplied by 3. So 4 comes out as 2 root 3. This also needs to be given in this form. We have 8 into 16. 8 can be written as 4 into 2, and 16 I am letting it stay as it is because 16 can simply come out as 4. 4 comes out as 2, 16 comes out as 4 under root 2. So we have 8 under root 2. These are our answers. Use the diagram and your answers to part A to show that cos 60 is equals to 1 upon 2. Cos 60, we will consider the triangle ABC for that. As we can see that this is an equilateral triangle with all the sides equaling to 4. So all the angles will also be equal. This angle is 60, 60, and I can write it 30 and 30. So overall this angle is 60. Cos 60 is 1 upon 2. When we say cos 60 is 1 upon 2, cos means here cos 60 using this single triangle because we do need a right angle. Here 60, the base of 60 is 2. Curly brown hair, hypotenuse, that is equals to 1 upon 2, hence shown. Second one is tan 60 is root 3. So tan 60 is equals to, till painted, this is the perpendicular black, this is the base, so root 3 proven. Next we have cos 30 is root 3 upon 2. So when we are talking about cos 30, we will look at this angle. Let's again write down the measurement here, 2 root 3. Cos 30 is equals to root 3 upon 2. This is the right angle. This stays the hypotenuse. So cos 30 is equals to curly brown hair is equals to root 3 upon 2. Hence proven. Tan 30 is equals to 2 upon 2 root 3 is equals to 1 upon root 3. You will rationalize the denominator by to remove the under root sign from the denominator by multiplying it with the denominator. So this gives me root 3 upon root 3 multiplied by root 3 gives you 3. That is how you will prove it. Other than that, you will get this answer, but the answer that is required rationalizes the denominator, so we will do that. For cos 45, we are going to use this triangle PQR. This side is 8 root 2. So when we are finding out cos 45, so cos 45 is equals to base upon hypotenuse. This gives me 1 upon root 2. I will rationalize the denominator by multiplying it with the denominator itself. Root 2 gives me root 2 over 2. This is the answer. Moving on to the next topic, which is trigonometric ratios for obtuse angle. So far you have seen that we did find out trigonometric ratios, but all of them were for acute angles. Now we are going to find them for obtuse angles. Before that, we need to understand something. Obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. So obtuse angle is always in the second quadrant. If I want to name the quadrants, then this is the first quadrant, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth quadrant. We need to know which trigonometric ratios are positive in which quadrant. In the first quadrant, all positive. Second quadrant, only sine positive. Third quadrant, tan positive. And fourth quadrant, cos positive. How do we remember it? We remember it like this: C-A-S-T, cast, starting from the fourth quadrant. Now when we are talking about obtuse angles and trigonometry, in trigonometry there is a rule that we always look at the angle which the line makes with the x-axis. Okay, so when we are talking about 30 degree, we are talking about 30 degree as well as 150 degree, because 30 degrees are here and here. In all quadrants we have 30 degrees. If we are talking about 30 degree here, we are talking about a reflex angle which is greater than 180. So we are talking about 270 minus 30. We will talk about obtuse angles. We are not getting into reflex angles as of now. In CIEs and IGCSE O levels, you don't have reflex angles in trigonometry. So we'll talk about obtuse angles. Obtuse angle is sine 30 is equal to sine 180 minus 30. And sine will be positive in both quadrants, because we can see that in the first quadrant all positive, second quadrant sine positive. Cos and tan for second quadrant will be negative. So sine 45 is equals to sine 180 minus 45 as well. 180 minus 45 is 135. So sine 45 will be equal to sine 135 with the positive sign. But this will be different for cos. Cos 30 is equal to minus cos 150. Why 150? When they are asking for an cos or sine or tan of an obtuse angle, you will see this angle and you will draw this angle with the x-axis, and you will subtract this angle from 180. Whatever is the answer, cos of angle that is made with the x-axis will be equal to minus cos of the same angle subtracted from 180. And same goes for tan. How will we get the questions of this concept? Let's have a look at it. One solution of the equation cos x degrees is 0.54. Minus 0.54, one solution is cos 0.54 is x is equals to 57, means cos 57 is equals to 0.54. And for cos minus 0.54, the range of angle that is given to you is 90 is less than y is less than 180, means it's an obtuse angle. So what will be the angle? Find y correct to the nearest whole number. If it's 57, then cos 57 is equals to minus cos 180 minus 57. 180 minus 57 is 123. Let's find out cos of 57 is 0.54. Let's find out cos of 123. So cos 123 in the calculator does give you minus 0.54. That is how you can find the answers.